Hello, this is Tim from Tech Artist 41. Welcome back. My nose has finally stopped bothering me. Flonase helps. uh, well, it's still bothering me, but a little bit. Alright, so what is this one? Sorry, I'm just curious. Let's see, this one. Oh, right. We'll just leave that. Okay, alright. Let's start out with something new. We're actually going to do an 8x10 today. Oops. Square pixels, CMYK, good. Alright. Brush, good. Put that back to normal. Put the opacity up to high. So, for all those who are joining or will join later, thanks for joining. New layer. Let's go back. Photoshop. And new layer. Let's see, layer. We'll just call it layer 1 for now. Okay. Let's change the color back to black. I need the size a little bit bigger than that. There we go. Yep. Alright, so what I'm going to be drawing today is something entirely different. I'll actually be going off of some bit of knowledge. So it's just how I draw to figure out exactly what I'm going to draw. So let's see. Okay. This is actually going to be one of my more detailed drawings, actually. And same thing with that. I'm drawing an elf today. Oh, and for those who did see the solar eclipse in the areas or saw it online, it's like it only happens once every couple of years. There, it's right there. Just figuring out the placement of where to have everything. Mouth right here. Earrings. We'll figure out what those will be later. They will be different earrings on each ear. Okay. I'm using Control T to hold shift and shrink down. I start from the head. To me, I find it a lot easier. So let's see. And for the breast, start from the armpits. It's also good to have some sort of reference. And you can make all different size and shapes of women. There we go. Sorry, there's just so many different things. Alright. Yeah, sorry, I have so many things pinging in and out. I'm working on multiple things. I'm working on my taxes. Everything's just a little bit crazy at this moment. There we go. Let's bring her up a bit. There we are. So there are many different ways of drawing hands and having it over the face, tilting their head. So I'm going to do something different and do a few things. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my image, Control T, move it like this. And then I'm going to do a few different things in general. So the next thing I do is create a new layer, brush. So I actually draw the skeleton just so that I don't miss anything. But after that, so I do like to have all my layers sort of slightly transparent in one way or fashion, so I can figure out exactly what I'm doing. So let's see. So we have this. We don't want to give her such a large form, and many women have more of a trapezoidal form. It's actually what their main torso is. So let's see, there's that. And then for their neck, sometimes it's really thin for a rectangle. And then it goes down and all out. And you can think of their breasts as triangles or circles or whatever you want. But you don't want to have it too abstract, because then you get away from what you're drawing unless you're going for that. Then good for you. Alright, let's see. Leave that like that. Now the other part I need to figure out is the hand. The hand placement is the very tricky part about this, is because you don't want to just think of one part of the hand. You want to also think of the bicep, the tricep, and the carpal muscles, basically every aspect of the hand. So you actually bring down the hand on one end, then on the other end you bring it up. So you want to at least have it to where they have their hand against their face. So you need this like that. You don't. This is if the hand was completely down. You get rid of that. And then you fine-tune this area right here. So depending on how thin you want their hand, you do have to understand the complexities. So wrist, Then for the hand can be many different things. So you start out with a rectangle, and then you work from there. And then you use your face as a guide. So use it as a guide to figure out exactly how you want the placement of your hand on your face. And if it's in a certain hand, you can actually hide the thumb. So if it is turned a certain way, so if it is something like this, and let's see, so it'd be this hand. So technically you can actually ignore the thumb in this instance. So let's see. So we leave the hand like that, just as reference. This is all just reference. Of course, it takes time to draw any sort of hand and all that stuff. So let's see, erase. These are more of just my sketch layers, so it's not going to affect the drawing too much. But yeah, you do need to understand that the more layers you put on the screen, the higher everything is. But let's undo that real quick. So we want this like this. And we just want the out of the image, just slightly. And then we move on to refining exactly what we want from this. We also bring the head down. So on the main image, we actually just bring this further down, because we don't want so much of the neck showing on this, because it doesn't look natural. And then we just put all of this on transparent layers so that we can see what we're doing next. But we want some layers to show through a little more. So we ignore the hand for now on the left side, and we focus on the main part. So the first part is actually figuring out what to draw. And sometimes that's hard, but I kind of made it a little easy. So I still need to adjust some of this. Erase. Okay. Yeah, this happens a lot. And we adjust the eyes to affect the sort of look on what we're trying to draw. And we can't forget the eyebrows. The eyebrows are very, very important for any sort of image. So we need to adjust the eyes though. Sometimes just drawing through, because you understand this is still, we're still drawing the draft of this. So we haven't quite figured out what is the final image of all of this. And for women, it's always good to have the line above, not so much below. And then always give the eyelashes at the top, not always necessary towards the bottom. Oops, there we go. And the ears. There we are. Sorry, there's always going to be a lot of dings and all that stuff going on. And then we have hair going off this way. We want to keep the hair in certain motions so that it looks as if slightly unkempt, but still kept quite nicely. Always adjust everything that you do. Well, not everything, just all the stuff that you need adjusting. And this is still quite a new layer. So we're not going to give her massive breasts. So in order to scale down, I do this just to sort of figure out what size that works. Okay, gonna need to bring it down lower though. Not everybody has large breasts, and not everybody will. So let's. And I just like putting nice outfits on them because, in a way, they kind of deserve it with all the hassle they have to deal with. There we go. Let's bring this out a little bit. There we go. Not too big, but not too small. There's a nice ratio with everything, too. So, belly button. Then, outer part of the dress. Yeah, I'm just making this up on the fly. I see a lot of different types of anime and all that stuff. I also look at every different type of comic, story, and whatnot. So, yeah, it kind of melds all together. Uh, I'll figure something out on her pattern in general. She's just gonna have a broken arm for right now until I fix it. But, yeah. I'm just trying to draw the basics of her before I do anything. So let's see. Get this back. Alright. We're almost there. We just need to draw this arm. And over the years, I have gotten better with drawing just people in general. Their full bodies, not their full bodies, and so on and so forth. So let's see, we'll need this like that. Erase that. And bring that down, erase a little bit of that. Leave it like this. Bring that down, like so. And we got a little bit more of her. So there's that. I will not be finishing this today. This is going to be a little bit longer of a project. So we can actually get rid of this layer and that layer. We now have a decent person. Now to deal with this layer. So let's add another layer on top. Because it is slightly off from what I had it. So I'm going to have to adjust this. Ooh, lightning, lovely. Sorry, it's raining outside a bit. And so for the hand, if it's that way, it's basically a triangle, like this. And then, depending on the positioning of the hand, if you are... The thumb is always facing away whenever you have something on their head. So I'm going to bring it down lower, so let's bring it down lower. It's right around here. Bring that like that, bend it like that, and have that like that. I don't have to show the thumb. That is the best part about it. 1, 2. And I don't have to show every ounce of the hand either. I can show the thumb like this. Let's get rid of this. Oh. There it is. Okay. So let's see. It's just very tricky for this without actually seeing it. This is why I always say have a camera on hand or use an iPad, iPhone for such display. It's not looking properly. So So let's see. So if it's like this, you see one finger. I'm just trying to figure out how to draw this while I'm drawing it. You see one finger behind another. So you see one finger behind another. And then you see the two other fingers just curled. So it's just hard to draw when it is a hard thing to draw. Let's see, so this actually has to go a different way. Whoops. So the way that it is, the hand needs to go like this, right against here, then like that, and then curled back onto itself. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to work on that, but yeah. Because as soon as I draw it that way, it falls apart. So basically, circle, two outlines to a spiral. Slight look here, and then finger behind a finger. It is always very, very tricky because you don't want to. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Alright, let's take a break from that. Alright. Yeah, let's delete that layer. Alright, so we have her. Still need to refine her a little bit. In every step of the process, it is something that needs to be done. So we're just gonna leave the arm like this for right now. If it looked like her arm just got cut off, why not? But let me just look that up. Sorry, it's bothering me just a bit. New window. There we go. Alright, and let's look for, yeah, you can see all the different things I looked up. Alright. Hand resting. can't. Face. Alright. So, images. And I mostly just take these as referent images. So, this is a good resting against face here. This one is also a good one. I like this one. It's very dynamic. That's okay. This one is what I was closely looking forward to. Female. Just to lower down the searches. There's that one, which not always. Sometimes these happen, but very, very rarely in some instances. I kind of like... This one is good for my reference of what I was wanting to do. So, what I do is I most likely just download the image, save image as, whatever it may be, and I just use this as reference. This is not really used for anything else other than reference for myself. So I put it side by side, minimize that. And I want to flip the image. Well, this program can't flip. But I do want to zoom in a bit. Alright, so let's see. Normal res, yada yada. And let's put Adobe Photoshop on this side. So I'm just going to draw the hand. Nothing else. So let's see. Let me turn off layer 6 real quick. Okay. So sometimes it's good to have a reference. And then you basically just copy. Sometimes my copying just really copies everything the way it is, and then so got that hand like this, like that, this and that. Let's see. I do more of a layered process, so I'm more of, we'll do this for one of the hand, and then this on top of that. And this is more of just reference for me. So let's see. That, and somewhat. So there's that. There's that. Somewhat. It's not right, but where are my figures? Guess I have figures too. Yes. I feel your pain. Alright. Well, we tried on that one. Let's get another image. One that's a little bit less difficult. No. Alright. None of that. Let's... New window. Female hand resting against face. Images. We'll go with this one, since it's a lot easier to deal with. Alright, so let's go back to Photoshop. Erase this. Well, get rid of the monstrosity, actually. Delete. And add one more. So, when I think of this one, I think of triangles and squares and all that stuff. So we need to extend enough. There we go. I just do this until it extends correctly to where I want. So there we go. That should look good. And do we need anything else? Yes, we do. Let's put that aside. So with this, we can go off sort of how we want. But I don't want to get too complicated in this. But yeah, there are many different parts of this that just want to express. And we'll get to the bending of the hand, but that'll at least give me a base point. And that is the left hand, so there, using the left hand like that. Okay. Alright, I think we're good with the hand. We'll just leave it at that for that one. Alright, and we'll have to lift that up a little bit. Good, good. So that's at least in the right place. Now I'll deal with the rest of it. So we're going to have to erase that just a bit. Just until I need. So we're going to leave the hand the way it is for the time being. We're going to have to put this down like this. And in front. There we go. And turn off that. Okay. So we're doing a lot of different techniques here. So we will need that one in front, yes. So we will need that like that. We adjust this to be slightly over. The neck, we will adjust the neck later. Oops. Come on. There we go. And adjust that to go that. That. Such. Alright, there we go. Somewhat. I don't want the ears too far off. Alright. There's that. I'm gonna have to adjust this just a bit. Just, come on, there we go, there we go. Okay. And we'll change out what that is later. This is just getting everything prepped. I'm ready. And right there. No. Alright, like this. There we go. We're just making it look a lot nicer. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses when they're drawing and doing all that stuff. My weakness is basically something I need to fix. And that would be drawing hands and all that stuff. There we go. I'm just drawing simple ears for right now, and then I do the complicated stuff later like this. Which, actually, that's pretty much it. And here, bring that back in. Make it a little bit curly. Adjust it. And I'm probably just going to cover this here because it's kind of in the way. Can't keep both of them, only can keep one of them. That's fine. There we go. Let's get rid of some of this and just bring it down like that. And over like this. She looks like she has a dead eye. There we go. There's that. Alright. Then we go here. Create her outfit. I'm making this simple for myself later, so the way I draw it is the way I draw it. So that, and I'd rather just leave this down because one arm is enough. Too many arms doing everything, because people just don't have multiple things that they'll be doing with their arms anyway. Alright, and then bring it out, round. Do need to make it a little bit more curvy. There we go. That's what I was looking for. There we go. And then right here. And then same thing over here. Oops. Doing a little bit more of a there we go, there's that. Any outie, whatever it is. I'm gonna erase this part. And there we go. Now we have disproportionate arms. Alright. Yeah, that's better. Okay. We'll fix most of it later. Then we add that. That's a little bit of effect. We will need to adjust this though. Bring it in closer, make sure that the arm doesn't look like it's being snapped off. But yeah. But I'm going to stop there today. But before I do that, let me actually get ready on the background. So we have this. And this part, this right here is our character. So we're going to group it, call it draft. And then we're just going to group all these, call this just draft. Alright, so we turn off that, we add a background by going like this. So it was a solar eclipse, so if you have any sort of idea of any of these programs, use the ellipse tool, hold shift, and create what you want to create. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. So, ellipse tool, shift. We're going to do a solar eclipse here. So, fill will be most likely black. Yeah, fill will just be black. So, for this, yes, we'll leave it as black. And then on the outer side, we do the stroke. And we don't want the color to be black. We want it to be more of a orange-like yellow. I'm really bad at colors, so there we go. We'll keep it at that. We actually just put it lighter, and then it works a little bit better. So we can either do that, or let's see, outer glow. And we put that as part of it. Color libraries. Let's see. This just helps a little bit. It's hard when you're slightly colorblind, so it doesn't quite help. Alright. Okay, that's fine. Noise. Multiply. Glow, and then stroke down to very, very small amounts. So, okay. And then from there, you actually take just a regular brush. So we add a new layer, put it under the eclipse layer, and then we do this. So brush, we actually draw it in black, how we want sort of the look to actually appear. Come on. Okay, something's not going out right. Okay, there we go. That's better. So let's see. We're just drawing the pattern. We can do multiple different types of eclipse looks, but so we're going off of this, and swatches yellow. We're just gonna generally fill it. So chi, fill everything. There we go. So from here, what we do is we put on the eraser, we adjust the opacity, make it a little bit larger, hardness to 0. Then we just very carefully adjust this right here to make our eclipse. But don't want so much of it just out. And it gives it that nice effect that we're going for when we're trying to do the glow. But it just gives that extra bit that just puts it out there. Makes it not just something blah. And that's how you make an eclipse. And then to get even more serious, we take the background to more of a midnight color, and we go chi, fill that, and we adjust this part right here, eraser again, to make it even nicer. We do need to adjust the color, filter, blur, noise, distort, select type color. Well, we just need to do image adjustments and hue and saturation. Saturation, we just put it to its almost basically darkest setting. So we do need just a slight bit. There we go. Then we adjust this bit. And then we'll leave it at that for now. But that's how you get something that looks like an eclipse, and then it adds just a little bit more to add a little bit of fading in a randomized pattern. There we go. Alright. So next time we will finish up our... Well, we'll finish this up right here. So this is the background, which won't be automatically on. So we'll finish this up next time. So we'll have this behind her. I may adjust the image a little bit, but just because it kind of... Yeah. I may adjust it to a little bit larger, not too much larger, just enough. And adjust where the other parts of it. But for now, we'll leave that at that. And basically we're practically done. So that's character graph. Yep. So we'll work on her next time. And this is Tech Artist 41 signing off for today. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Or if you want me to enlarge her just so that it's more of her torso, less so much of her body, then let me know in the comments. Thank you, and see you next time in 3 days.